Welcome back to the Realistic RTG on FC25. We are still somehow sat in 10th in this first debut Premier League season. And we are ploughing forward with hopefully some Premier League fixtures we can get some good points in. And also an FA Cup tie we hope to advance with also. Means we'll play Brighton twice today. Once away and once at home. But fingers are crossed that we can get cup progression and hopefully 6 points from the two played league games, Forest at home and Brighton at home. And then whatever we get against Chelsea is whatever we get against Chelsea. But they are right with us in the table. Brighton are the stronger side, in fact, so far this season. Sat in 4th now, having won their match day 27. Gone back above Newcastle, although obviously Newcastle now have a game in hand. Liverpool face Manchester City, you can see top left as well. So that's a big fixture this particular match day. Arsenal-Manchester United as well is traditionally a big fixture, but with Man United in 11th, not quite so much a big fixture these days. Still a big fixture though, isn't it? So we're hoping actually to have a relatively strong episode. We hope so. We're going to have a look at the youth setup at the end of the episode as well. I'm sure live chat will make sure I don't forget to do that, because undoubtedly I will do, I'm sure, throughout the course of recording the episode, to see if there's any youngsters we could look at bringing in from our scout reports. But for the time being, I'm just going to dive straight into the action, I think. We're saying thank you to Ashley, to Zilva and to Chris on the board behind me. And as we push forward today, Nottingham Forest are 3rd in real life, but 15th here. Alvaro Valles in goal for Nottingham Forest. Vicente Rodriguez, Taylor Harwood-Bellis, Lenny Yoro and Omar Richards, who's retiring at the end of the season at left-back. He's their only left-back. He's their only right-back. They've got Alan Varela and Alexander Pavlovic at CDM, which is two very strong players. Elanga and Zakarian on the left. Gibbs White at cam and Luis Miranda at striker, who's a youth prospect. Omar Babadele on the bench as well. There's Ayman Ali, a couple of other youth prospects. Giuliano Simeone is obviously a very good player to have on the bench. So they've got some options. We're at full strength other than Bowie at right wing over Kanadu for fatigue. It's kind of it, really. We're hopefully going to get a good result here. But Forest actually, especially in an attacking sense, look like they're going to be quite difficult to play against. Right. He soon said hello again. Zakarian's a bit quick, isn't he? Mikic looking for Bowie. Takes in his stride well enough. Up against Omar Richards. It's probably going to be the weak point in their defensive line, isn't it, really, if we're honest, Omar Richards. Good save. Oh, and it nearly fell free. But Valles grabs it the second time of asking. No goal for Giovanni. Bowie's in that gap. It's not really the gap I was looking to put it in, but it's a gap where we found the man. And Clarkson around the corner maybe, or trying to get a corner maybe. Nothing happened. There we go. Flick that backwards. Oh, Longos backed out of it. He's pussied the 50-50. Hoyer steps in, wins his challenge, and Clarkson will look to ping this for Shaq Ford, although it's too close to the defender, I think. Lancashire could win this and has done. Giovanni just gets there. It's a little bit wayward at the minute. Oh, that was on its way to the top corner though. Valles with a bit of a camera save, but needed the save regardless. It was headed towards that far top corner. We've won it back again. A little bit bitty this game so far. Bit of midfield tennis really, with no one taking full proper advantage and having a spell of pressure, although we are having a bit of a spell of pressure here. Giovanni out to Shaq Ford. Plenty of men in the middle, looking for Giovanni, finding Lancashire. I wanted to lay that back to Clarkson really badly on the edge of the box, but couldn't quite sort my feet out in time. Alanga's now bursting past the fullback, and Longos is going to have to get stuck in as well. And he's played the pass. Gibbs White has options in the middle. He could go solo and does, and Forest lead by a goal to nil in the 42nd minute. At the end of the first half, it's the away side that take the lead. Their captain leading by example. Forward across to Clarkson. A response before half-time would be great. Squeeze that to Bowie. He's onside. First time. I actually get my first time shot this time. But he misses the target. Awkward one, though, to be fair, with the defender in close proximity. We are going to be trailing at half-time here. Forest are a decent team, and they're proving it. Jacob Wright, sharp turn. Bowie's going. Clarkson will find him. They keep trying to press on this Omar Richards side of the pitch, and it's working to an extent, but we're creating chances, but we're not actually tucking any of them away yet. So I might need to change up my approach in this second half, because evidently it hasn't worked the way that we would have liked it to in the first 45. Zakarian is away here. That's a dangerous ball that is half dealt with by Alfie Doherty. Rodriguez delivers another, and ooh, Morgan gives way, nearly finds his and Forest's second of the game. They make a change. Omar Richards is now off, and Omar Bamidele is on at fullback. So they're playing a centre-back at fullback. I presume he has left-back as one of his designated positions, but I wouldn't know for sure. And we're coming down the other flank, and it's nearly that side of the pitch that provides us with the way into, or back into the game. Giovanni Clarkson finding Bowie, and Lenny Yoro, an 86 rated Lenny Yoro, is proving every bit of the high quality he is on paper, on the pitch as well. Now they're building this very well, and we might be going 2-0 down. We're not. Bergstrom comes to the rescue. Alanga off for them now as they make another change. And it's Silva on. I think it was Jota Silva, the Wolves man. Oh, Harwood Bellis breaks free, and he's missed the target. Clarkson doing well. Leighton Clarkson is having a good couple of episodes. I was slightly concerned that maybe he was going to be... Oh, that's not a very good challenge. He was going to be potentially a bit of a dud signing for us. And he's not... Maybe he's not... It's just a yellow. Maybe he's not dud. But he certainly hasn't had the desired impact, Leighton Clarkson. He's basically as good as the player he replaced, but no better than. It hasn't really been as much of an upgrade as I hoped it would be in that area. Kanadu with a really poor pass, who's come off the bench here, Don Angelo, to try and impact the game, as we know that he certainly can. Jacob Wright's made a good impression at CDM, but I think Jacob Wright will go back to Atleti in the summer. Lawal, I think, he's dropped to 76 rated, and whilst he was good, I think if we genuinely want to improve the team, I think Lawal's injury is going to have hindered his time at the club. It's a lovely bit of agility by Don Angelo Canadu, but Harwood Bellis has come across just in time to put the toe in before we get the shot away. I think we won't have massive amounts of money in the summer because of the money we've committed to the stadium and to the Mikic transfer. We've kind of spent almost every penny we've got available this year on other players and a ground. Next year might be a consolidation year where we look to improve by selling and replacing rather than just improving on what we've got. And then maybe in season 9, that will be the hopeful push for Europe season. But we'll wait and see what happens. I mean, to be fair, we might be in Europe next year if we win the bloody FA Cup this year. Because we have a genuine chance of winning the FA Cup. And if we can do that, it would be unbelievable in our first year in the Premier League to do so. It might even be the first time I've ever done that in my first year at Premier League level, to win an FA Cup. Thanks, shit. I'm going to dink this for Ford, but it's not quite going to reach him. I can't find my way back into this. Forest are doing very well at the moment at batting away every approach I make to try and score a goal. Looking for Lankshit. Can he spin the man? He can. And he needs to get the shot away, but the keeper's in the way. And Valles has made a number of very good saves. There's only 4 minutes to go. I think we're going to lose this one. Zakarian and Miranda brushes the side netting. More changes being made, but with 60 seconds or so on the clock, I think that's probably game. Looking to flick that to Kanadu. Maybe I should have tried to knock it to Odor first to then go to Kanadu. And as a result, that's time. Ref, you can blow your whistle if you want, mate. All right, I just didn't do anything with the controller, presuming that you would. Very nearly cost us a second goal. Why he didn't blow his whistle, I don't know. Corner Forest at the very death of the game then. And it will be a 1-0 defeat here against Nottingham Forest unless this goes in. Which it awkwardly very nearly did and still could. It is to be a 1-0 defeat at home against Nottingham Forest. Not the start to the episode we were after. And just proves that just because we're 10th doesn't mean we're that much better than a number of the sides below us. And certainly, probably from 8th to 18th, anyone can beat anyone. And it's just a case of who can do what on any given match day. And this time, Morgan Gibbs White was the man that did it. It's FA Cup time down on the south coast. Because it's the FA Cup and Brighton are involved in a European battle in the Premier League, I let the AI pick their 11 and didn't change it myself. And it looks like they have. at least in the goalkeeping position, rotated a bit, with presumably the priority being trying to get into the Champions League via a league finish. Killian Cahill in goal for them. Tarek Lamptey, Marcus Alexander, Kim Min-jae and Ishmael Jacobs. Kozia Dubry on the right, Pablo Barrios, Javi Guerra and Jamie Bino-Gittens. Certainly their midfield is very strong. Maximilian Bayer and Johan Bonney. Yeah, they're going to be decent up top. They have left out Kadiolu and Barela and Nicholas Jackson and Osman and Antonio Silva and Yasser Aspria. I don't know where Richard Kiss plays. And David Raya is their go-to goalkeeper. So, my God, they have quite the squad at Brighton, don't they? We've had to rotate a little bit because of fatigue, but only Van der Haar and Wadsworth and Adaramola stepping into the starting lineup here for this one. This is what I hoped was going to be a tie where we felt like we could definitely get through to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. But actually, I think genuinely Brighton stand a great chance of winning this. Look for Kanadu over the top against Jacobs. But, well, the defender comes out on top. Johan Bonney. Oh, Jacob Wright gets a bit lucky to have gotten the handball. But to be fair, Bonney got a bit lucky to have been able to break away anyway. All out to Adaramola. I'll look centrally. And Lancashire, early effort, well blocked by the defender. But did it hit a hand? It did. Right, Clarkson doesn't play in this one. So I think Lancashire might actually genuinely be the best option for a free kick here. But he doesn't really have great free kick stats. I'll give it a go. Laying it off never really works for me in these sorts of situations. Will Lancashire from 19-ish yards off the bar and away. Couldn't have come much closer at all to giving us a 1-0 lead there. He has won the ball back. We'll try and recycle it, but can't find Kanadu. Lankshire's there again, can find Kanadu. Lankshire's going, and he can't quite get in there. I think he used the hand this time. And Brighton survive. It's just so compact in the middle there. Jacob Wright will take the corner. He's got an unbelievable goal on debut, Jacob Wright. Hasn't done anything offensively like that since, but has been very solid defensively. Shaq Ford will chase after this. There is someone there on the edge of the box, if we can get it to him. That is not the man I was after. I was looking for Mikic. Right, don't concede on the counter-attack here, Ches. Basically, it's the protocol now. Adaramola having to chase back here. Maximilian Bayer will have the pace, and he is away. And Bergstrom with a fantastic stop to deny Brighton a goal on a clinical counter-attack. Kozia Dubry will take the corner for them. Half an hour in here. It is anybody's game so far. Both sides look capable of winning this, but neither side have the advantage yet. Lost it. Save it, please. Oh, my God. Maximilian Bayer is proving to be a thorn in my side at the moment. He has been really decent. Giovanni up against Kim Min-jae. You know who's going to win that physical battle, don't you? And Bino-Gittens and support. And Bergson with another good stop. Very much relying on Lucas at the minute. There have been some calls to replace him in the summer with a higher rated player. I can't help but feel like at the minute Lucas Bergstrom will just organically grow to be that higher rated player for us. And at the minute is performing adequately for what we need at this particular moment in time. Lankshire's in. Oh, it's a good save by 71 rated Cahill to keep us out. Ford, Giovanni. Oh, looking for Wadsworth on the edge of the box. It's fallen to Jacob Wright. I might have overrun it a little bit. Little back heel looking for Wadsworth. A little ball into Wright again maybe. Oh, it's gotten very compact again centrally. Brighton have been so difficult to try and break down. Javi Guerra and Pablo Barrios. Midfield positioning is on point thus far. Really helping out their defensive line when needed and getting forward to help out the attack as well. Nice ball into Johan Bonney and Maximilian Bayer. Good block by Longhorse. And away, please. And that'll be half-time at 0-0. But this certainly will not end goalless. Adaramola. Positive start to the half would be great. Giovanni making a mockery of the midfielder there. And then the midfielder making a mockery of himself. He's going to be in trouble here, isn't he? I was just about to play Lancashire through. The crowd is screaming off, off, off. The away fans get their request. Pablo Barrios walks. I don't think the fans are showing their frustration at the referee. I think they're showing their frustration at their player for putting in a rather silly challenge. Absolutely unnecessary from Pablo Barrios there. On the heart. Oh, and I've absolutely wasted the free kick opportunity, unfortunately. But now they're down to 10 men. That might open up their midfield slightly. But our defence has been opened up here, and it's Pablo Barros' central midfield partner, Javi Guerra, that forces the save out of Bergstrom, who has had to be at his absolute best today to ensure that Brighton don't run away with this. They've created a lot of chances. We've gotten into forward positions well, but I don't know really, as we've tested the goalkeeper more than that once. Bergstrom again with another save to keep us in it and level at 0-0. 5 efforts, make that 6 efforts on target for Brighton so far, and only the 1 for us. I am going to need to make changes here. Clarkson with the turn, trying to find some space, but even with just 1 central defensive midfielder in there now, they're still quite difficult to work the ball around. I should have gone to Ford out wide, not to Lancashire. 25 minutes to go. I'm going to have to play better if we're to find a winner here, even though they do only have 10 men now. Stevenson looking for the runner, Bowie. The 2 substitutes link up. Bowie for Lancashire. He's in, he's on, and there's the winner, hopefully for us now. Is that an FA Cup quarter-final spot for Bradford City? Nicholas Jackson off the bench here. Javi Guerra. And Jacobs. And Javi Guerra again. Lovely little dinks ball in. Maximilian Bayer holds off the challenges. Nicholas Jackson. Bayer. Good turn, good block. Right. Has kicked it against his own arm. Dickhead. Right, okay. That's not gone well. This might be the opportunity Brighton need to find the equaliser. Jump with the wall. Wall's in the way. But there's a big man underneath it. Nicholas Jackson can't get there. Asprilla does, and Asprilla scores. Brighton do have a leveller with 16 minutes to go. Now getting us into Nicholas Jackson. Here's Asprilla. And Javi Guerra. And Nicholas Jackson, who's taken it around the keeper, and Brighton lead. The 10 men have turned it around. And we trail now here at the Amex. I didn't call the keeper out. He came. Didn't even try. Just stood there. Knew that Nicholas Jackson was going to get past him. If he'd have known that from the right from the very off, he wouldn't have bloody come for it in the first place. Good. Right. Great. 2-1 Brighton then. Beats Jacobs, and either support is arriving slowly. Wadsworth. Didn't feel like I could go for goal with Wadsworth there and stand a chance. So looked for Lancashire and couldn't find him. Brighton have got the bit between their teeth now, haven't they? Bino Gittins. Back to Asprilla. Nicholas Jackson straight at the keeper. Try the same route again. Bowie lets it go. Can he get there first? No. Kim Min-jae keeps it in, so play could continue. We're into the 90th minute now. Oh, and I needed to win that back there. Adaramola will get to this first, but 3 minutes added on. We need to counter, we need to go, and we need to score now. Clarkson. Support in the middle. Wadsworth. Driving forward. Gabe looking for Bowie. Kieran Bowie. Brilliant stop by Cahill. Selected ahead of David Raya. And worth the selection, it seems. Header clearish. Fully cleared away now. And there's the game. The 10 men win. Brighton 2, Bradford 1. And we are out of the FA Cup. The quality of the individual, not the quantity of the individual, the more important factor in this fixture. And a little bit of dodgy goalkeeping along with it. We're out. Bergstrom did make countless saves in the game all told. Newcastle are through, Leeds are through, Chelsea are through, Burnley are through. I mean, with the amount of big teams that are gone, that really was a winnable competition for us this year. Brighton will be one of the favourites along with 9th placed in the Premier League Chelsea, who surely will have a very, very good squad. That's where we head next, the game against Chelsea, but rather unsurprisingly, we fully expect to lose that one. I did not expect to lose to Brighton when they went down to 10 men and when we went 1-0 up. Match day against Chelsea. Fully expect them to have a very good side. We'll interactive sim it just to see what their 11 looks like. Vote, Livramento, Badiashile, Tosin Adarabioyo, Ryerson, Rice. Declan Rice was at Marseille, I think, in this one. Actually, that might have been the journeyman, Declan Rice at Marseille. So Rice alongside Leslie Ugachukwu. Daniel Violin, a Patreon player. Joao Felix and Kunku and Cruiser. Surely not Max Cruiser. It's got to be someone different entirely, I would have thought. Can't be Max Cruiser, surely. He must have retired by now. We will jump to results, and it's a 2-0 for Chelsea. Leslie, Ugachukwu and Cruiser with the goal. I'm going to actually have a look at Chelsea's squad in the transfer market, so to speak, just to see exactly who that Cruiser is, because I'm intrigued, actually. Presume it's going to be a youth prospect of some description, but certainly in the starting lineup for them. Let's have a look. Christopher Cruiser, 87 rated Danish striker right wing. 88 rated Pedro Blanco, Argentinian left wing. Don't know who that could be a pre-gen of. Argentinian left wing? Not sure off the top of my head. Kadir Bulut, left wing, left mid striker, Turkish. Don't know. I mean, is that... Højlund doesn't have right wing, does he? I don't know off the top of my head. They've got a good squad, Chelsea. They shouldn't be where they are in the league, but they might still be where they are in the league. They are. They're still 9th, but they've opened up a bit of a gap to us. We've got 4 points below and 6 points above. We are stuck in 10th at the minute, although Man United have a game in hand and can close the gap to just 1 should they win it. We now have to go play bloody Brighton again. 10 men, not quite full strength Brighton, were very hard to play against. 11 men, full strength Brighton, are going to be even worse. David Raya in goal, Pierre Kalulu at right back, Kim Min-jae, Antonio Silva and Kadiolu. Aspria, Barrios, Guerra, Bino Gittins, Bayer Bonney. And then on the bench, 83 Kiss, 85 Jackson, 86 Harvey Elliott, 85 Barella, 84 Osman, 85 Trincao. Brighton are disgusting. What a squad, let alone 11. Brighton always end up with a very, very good team in my career modes, and I don't know whether that's replicated in your saves as well, but always in mine, Brighton turn into, even if they don't show it in their league finish, a squad that are unbelievably strong. So I'm not necessarily anticipating us getting anything from this fixture either. It could be 3 straight defeats for us today, or 4 straight defeats, factoring in the Forest one as well. Could be a terrible episode. Oh, he's dived out the bloody way of it. Yeah, it's going to be an awful episode. We could be losing 4 in a row today. And it'd be 5 with the simmer against Arsenal at the end of the last episode. This isn't a wobble. It's a complete collapse. Gimme. And in Noah. Hoya. Caught on it by Barrios. And they got the red card a week ago. Or 2 weeks ago. Plays on now. Aspria dinked. Oh my God. Overhead kick attempt. I think we got a free kick for it. Whether it was an offside or a high boot or a handball. I don't know. Regardless. Well over the top of the bar. Close me down. Balls. He actually did. Yes, Aspria. Longor steps in nicely. And now this space. We can find the ball for Shaq forward. The only annoying thing is it was Lancashire, my striker, that played the bloody ball. Get up, Shaq. Oh, this is not going well for me today, is it? Bino Gittins. Bino Gittins still. Aviguera. So, Yasser Aspria doubles Brighton's advantage. It is going to be 5 straight defeats. Not a bad ball. Keeper's there. Got it quickly. Lancashire. Clarkson. Lancashire again. Looking for Kanadu. Kadiolu. Whoa! Nearly scored an own goal is what Kadiolu did. Christ. That was close. Giovanni with the corner. It's not a bad one. It's not a great one either. Well, did that hit a hand? That would have been really weird if they'd then given me a free kick on the edge of their box the next game with a guy kicking it against his arm, the same way that Jacob Wright did in the last game. It hasn't worked that way. And we're still 2-0 down. And I think the only thing that's going to happen goal-wise between now and the end of the game is that we might concede more. It's supposed to be for the keeper. Oh, are you serious? No, I was trying to get the ball. Oh, Brighton penalty. They should never have gotten it in the first place. We're just trying to block the shot. Pen, Brighton, Bonnie is going to make it not 3. Good save. It's still only 2. Bergstrom does very well there. Come on then, let's counter. Lowell playing his first game of football since about October, I think, here now. The end of March. Through to Lancashire on the counter-attack from their penalty. We pull one back. Wow. How's that for a counter? Game on? Spoiler alert. No. Given away by Brighton. Are they having a crisis of faith here? Clarkson. Lancashire. Clarkson, Lowell. Clarkson, Lowell. Clarkson, Lowell. Lancashire. Lancashire. He's done it again! Wow! The first one was good enough on the left. The second's even better! How's that for a comeback? 2-2! And that's well worth watching again. Slat the accuracy of that. Off the bar, into the side netting. Wowzers, Will Lancashire. Lowell off the bench with 2 assists. Talk about impact. Forward spins and he's behind Pierre Kalulu. And Kalulu can't get there. And Lancashire's arriving. Oh, you saw the hat-trick right before your eyes and it didn't materialise. Oh, mate. I'd have been buzzing like. Trincao with the corner for Brighton. Not long left to go in the game. Is there a winner in it or are we going to scrape a point and stop the losing run? Bergstrom with a big save. Von der Haar will get after it. His first touch isn't great. Antonio Silva takes it away from him. We need to win this header. Doherty does well. It's fallen to Barrios. Everyone's in the way. Counter-attack. Lancashire looking for Bowie. Kadiolu steps forward well. Bayer, 3 minutes added on here. Time for a Brighton winner perhaps. Nicholas Jackson, who got the winner in the FA Cup, won't have this one. Wadsworth spins. I need a counter. I'm not going to get it. I'll take the point. I'll take the point. The sinking ship has been plugged. We will not lose another game. We do get a point today, albeit solely thanks to Will Lancashire. Unbelievable 2 goals from Will there in that game. Lowell off the bench and with 2 assists in his first 15 minutes on the pitch since getting the injury months ago. Quite remarkable, really. Ford has peaked, certainly. I think it's safe to say there. And Shaw is growing. Right, I'm going to go and have a look through the youth setup and see if there's any players from these scout reports that we're going to call up. Hiro Noguchi, 17, 5'10". Incisive pass and first touch. Looks like he could grow quite well indeed. Train him as a target forward and advance forward, get that sprint speed up, I guess. He could grow quite well. We've got 62 rated Yukichi Akita, who's got some pace and some ball control, and that's about it at 16. Whipped past and rapid. It's not bad. We've not had an absolute stonking worldie at any point though, have we? With our youth setup. Then there's Ryuki Yoshida, also a winger, 73 to 93 potential. He's got a little bit more pace and ball control and dribbling as okay stats. Technical for him. They're all right, some of these players, but they're not sensational, are they? 1.2 million is the... Wow, Ando has got 4 playstyles. Finesse shot, trickster, relentless and acrobat. Bloody hell. There are a handful of players that we've called up that look like they could develop really nicely. And then some that just aren't quite going to cut the mustard, unfortunately, like Wataru Morita. I called him up because he had 83 to 94 potential. He is only 14, power shot and rapid. But we don't have the time in the save to really grow players like that. That's just Japan, by the way. Now I'm going to have a look through our Brazilian set, which is equally as impressive. This guy, it's 87 to 93. Even though he's only 14, I am going to give him the time to grow. I wasn't sure if this guy might be better at centre-back. 1.2 million for Alves. Don't really know why I kept all them. These must be the ones from the most recent report because they're all a bit rubbish. He's 17. I'm going to say no. If he was 13 or 14, I probably would have called him up with the potential of the potential, if you know what I mean. He's potentially got potential. Let's have a look then and see if there's any Brazilians in here. Fabio Alves, 65 rated centre-back, already comes in better than the Australian centre-back we currently have at the club. Block with a play style for him. And absolutely, he's going to be pretty sensational, you imagine. Pace is already good enough, so we'll go ball-playing defender. Defensive awareness is decent as well. It's 70 already to start with. He looks like he could be a very good player. Then there's Garcia, the CDM. Jumping of 57 only. Passing is one of his highest stats, though, so maybe he could do something. He's 63. A little bit of growth maybe with a couple of loan spells, and he might do something potentially, maybe. Heading accuracy is a bit shit, but we'll see what happens with him. Then there's Eduardo Xavier, 62 rated CDM centre mid. Jumping of 60. He's only 5'7" actually. At 18, I'm actually going to say no to him then, actually. And then, was that it from Brazil, or was there one more? Oh, yeah, the 87 to 93 potential. Power header, long ball pass, aerial, 14-year-old. Centre-back and CDM. We'll just let him grow, I think, and see what happens. I'd be really curious to see how a 14-year-old like that grows over the course of a save. We'll keep him as a centre-back for now, because that seems to be his default position. His passing's not great. His tackling's definitely better than his passing. Let's go stopper. See if we can't grow him a little bit. And then I don't think we'd actually had that much luck at all in the Ivory Coast, really. I'm not going to give him the time. Pace and nothing else. 77 to 94 at 14 years of age. Maybe something potentially, but probably not. I'm going to say no. 81 to 94 is a yes. 74 to 94. 16. We'll call them up and see what those play styles are. That's definitely a no. That's going to be a no. That's going to be a no as well. We have tweaked, of course, the way that we do the youth players. Previously, we were not calling up anyone that had a potential window. Or rephrase, we weren't signing anyone to the youth academy. Anyone from a scout report that had potential of 10 higher than our highest rated player. We've changed that so that now they can come into our youth academy, but we can't call them up from the youth academy to the first team until they have the right windows. So 94, I don't have an 84 rated player, but because we don't have any coaches, their potential windows will shift. So he might well drop from 94 potential at the top to 89 potential at the top, meaning we could sign him. Or even 91. We've got 81 rated players. So there's still absolutely the potential of being able to sign some of these guys. But as you can clearly see, none of the Africans, unfortunately, are good enough at this stage. Wilfred is 16 and well-rounded physically, but doesn't really excel anywhere. Power shot, technical. I'm just going to say no to him, I'm afraid. I apologise. And then Yunus Ake, dead ball, acrobatic, power shot. He's only 15, so we'll give him time to grow, but still doesn't look that good, does he, really? We'll train him as a winger. And then was there any more from Africa? Was that it? No, that was it, really. So the youth academy has a couple of good players in it that will get called up and sent out on loan. Alves, certainly. Garcia will loan out too. Shaw and Akita we could call up as well to try and get some loan football. Maybe Davies and Yoshida. Probably Davies, considering he's got those play styles. Might want to make the most of that. We'll see what happens. But a couple to be not necessarily excited about, but a couple certainly to keep an eye on, that's for sure. We have bottom of the table Brentford as our next fixture after an international break. So it will be Brentford and Wolves. We'll sim City and we'll play Everton. And then it will be play Fulham, play Newcastle, sim the final 3. And 2 episodes left to go this season to find out where we finish in the Premier League. That's all for today's episode though, so please do drop the video a like if you've enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss out on any more. What do you think about those youth prospects? Is there anyone there that piques your interest? Certainly going to send a number out on loan, I think. I can't call Noguchi up to my first team to send him out on loan yet because that up to 94 potential window is too high. That needs to drop to 91 before I can call him up. But everyone else down to Davies is call-upable, so to speak. Yoshida and Ando actually aren't because their peak window is too high. So, plus Ando's only 15, I couldn't call him up anyway. So we'll call up those that are call-upable and we will set them for loan next year and we'll just see what happens. But that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow? No, this might be Friday's video. I'll see you Monday.